Okay, so got some negative feedback last week for my idea of downgrading to a dumb phone, which is incredible because this is turning into the odd life version of me in any road trip with my friends where they go, dude, self-help's a load of shit. Fuck you, it's mad. I like how this is turning into a nationwide version of that, and we're all in the car together, just like Planet Earth, man. And so, just before we get into this, because it ties in nicely with today's lesson, a lot of people were saying that, yeah, well, why don't you just get rid of all the time wasters like Facebook, Twitter? I don't do that. I just use it for Uber Eats, travel, seeing what's happening in the moon at the moment. You need to know that. And it'd be really impressive, wouldn't it? It'd be the same shit that's been happening there for billions of years. Nothing! Except for maybe the occasional alien. And if you're looking out for that, good on you. You and Buzz Aldrin, eh? At the same club. I want you to admit to yourself that that's a load of shit. Frankly. For your own good. Because all I'm hearing when I hear that is that you're a pokies addict. That's it. If you're sitting there going, I can control it anytime I want, I can stop, baby. You can't stop. Don't bullshit yourself. You can trim the fat with me, that's fine. Do that. But with yourself, and obviously that's way more important that you get your own life under control. I know that that's a lie because I know that out of my friends that say exactly the same thing, that I just get rid of all the apps and time waste. They put them back on. If you get one of these phones, you don't have that option. Boom, gone. And don't give me that same South Park line. Remember that one where I can't remember what episode it was, but then at the end they said, yeah, the meaning of discipline. This is all my high school experience. People going, the true meaning of discipline is to have one beer and then stop. That's when you know you're a master. No. The true meaning of discipline is to do the full tilt, all out, Buddhist monk version of that, which is no booze, full stop. You know why? Because there's something called decision fatigue. And let's just talk about this very quickly. There's a reason why Obama only had two suits, or two colours of suits. He had blue, grey, and actually he did have a black one. Ooh, government conspiracy. But he barely wore that. I think it was just for those tuxedo events where he's permitted to say 3 or 4 jokes and Fox News jumps on him and goes, but Obama hates America because he said, what the? One of those things. Now, the reason he did that is because every decision that you make in a day wears your brain out. There's a litany of literature written about this. I can't remember the main book that I read about this was something along the lines of the dangers of choice. Ooh, it probably wasn't called that. You could tell that that was a legitimate sentence by me going ooh at the end. I know from reading this research though, and again, this was years ago that I read this book, but more or less it was saying that the more choices you have in life, the more your brain freaks out and because it's always just looking at possibilities of what's going to give it the best advantage. As soon as you give it 2 choices, it splits and goes, I don't know which one's better. You know, you might have that feeling. You know when you've dated someone in the past and then you think, what would my life be like that? And then, unless, you know, there was plates throwing and a bunch of ethnic languages going, you start thinking about it and you get sad. That's just a natural human event. And the thing is, it's because your brain thinks about the possibilities constantly, which is a bunch of wasted time because it's not happening right now. What's happening is the things that you have in control of in your direct life at the moment. It's a very small bubble. I'm sorry to tell you, all these people that protest at university that get the American troops out of Iraq, I don't think that you're going to have an impact on that. Maybe it's the fact that you have dreads and lice, which seems to be a contradiction, seeing as lice don't really like hair that's that dirty, but somehow you've managed to do that. So that's in your control. Get rid of your fucking lice. Stop focusing on things that you can't control. And it's the same with this. You can't really control how stupid your brain is. The only thing you can do is act like a parent to it and go, no, no. Because if you do have this, every time people go, I could have the control, I just look at it occasionally. Bullshit. I don't know if there's a way that you can link this up. It'd be incredible for you to actually write down in a day how many times you look at Facebook on your phone or any of the notifications that come up on it. And if you disable the notifications, the fact that it is sitting there and just the fact that it is on, taking enough attention away from you that it's constantly just sitting there going, Matt. Remember how we talked about that last week? Just it being on and in your pocket drains the same attention as somebody just sitting on your shoulder all day, some little toddler just going, but why? But why? But why? But why? How do you get anything done? You can't. That's why you need to get rid of it. Because it ties into today's lesson, which is simplicity. All you want to be doing, and this is your homework, write down, because remember how we discussed that 3 activities that you do over and over and over again and get really good at them will probably determine somewhere in the field of 4/5 of your success in life. Just getting good at 3 tasks, because most people branch their knowledge out into a bunch of different things and they become a jack of all trades. You know those wankers that watch a bunch of ABC and they just think like, oh, what's the favorite show of all time? Q&A. Sorry, not Q&A, but again, that is the news version of the show that I'm thinking about. You know, that one with Stephen Fry, and they just sit there and go, oh yes, the difference of the colour of chicken egg, does it make any difference? No, it doesn't. Apparently a brown egg and a white egg have exactly the same nutrition. Take that, racists. That idea, just stupid ideas that fill up your brain that really, do you need to know them? Confucius was onto something. Simplicity is key. That's why I really like Eastern philosophy, because, and it's the same with Asians, because my girlfriend's from that family, and you can see it with her. Anytime I ever talk about heady issues overseas of saying, oh, it's a really troubling issue, what's happening in the opium trails in Afghanistan. She just sits there and goes, I don't care about that. She honestly says that constantly to me. There's nothing I can do about it. I don't think about that. I think about what's in my control. That is a classic Eastern philosophy that has been around for thousands of years, and it is being proven time and time again with scientific discoveries in the field of the brain, which is that the less cluttered your brain is, the less bullshit things that it's focusing on, the more it can focus on one thing. And remember this phrase, where focus goes, energy flows. You only have a certain amount each day. And this is where willpower comes into it as well, which is that if you're sitting there going, I could discipline myself to not look at pictures on Facebook of my friends in clubs. I don't know why. Why are you wasting your discipline on that? You only have a certain level of willpower. Can you increase it like a muscle? Oh yeah, as the evidence shows, you can. God, that muscle looks like Popeye the Sailor's before he has the spinach and goes, you know, just that little like, it's so good that this just turned into one of those Instagram fitness guys that goes, bruh, 3 months is gonna be from here. You watch, bruh. My key, just having heaps of protein powder. No one's ever thought of that before. This whole store's devoted to it. You're not a genius. Anyone who has one of those sleeves tats, sorry, 100 IQ max. Anyway, if you got that, if you are a genius, put it in a picture. Just put it in a picture in the comments of you going like this and then post up your IQ. Prove me wrong. Like Principal Skinner said, prove me wrong, kid. So, because it's wearing down all of that, do you really want to be wasting your willpower and decision power on should I answer this text or not? The answer is no. What you want to be wasting your decision power and willpower on is how do I get better at these 3 subjects? Now, this is what I want you to do for homework, because your whole life should be focused on getting rid of as few decisions as possible so you can just focus all your energy on those 3 key tasks. The way that we're going to do this is, first of all, identify what they are. A key to success, something that they've been studying about billionaires and millionaires and how they got there. If they were self-made, obviously we know the answer to the Hiltons, for instance. My dad's rich. But the average person that made it from lower middle income class, working class, to becoming one of the key decision makers in the world, how did they get there? And the answer is that they were really, really clear about a few specific tasks. It's time and time again. They've also got a bunch of rituals and habits that they implement, and they figured out how they best work throughout the day. And we'll get to that in another video, but first, get clear about this. What do you want to achieve? How are you going to achieve it? And when you answer those 2 questions, it becomes very clear what those 3 activities that you should be focusing on is. As pimps would say. You should follow them. Great human beings. So, when you get those 3 key tasks, then I want you to record, not just today, because obviously today it's already wasted. I know what you're doing right now. Straight after this, you're going to go outside, you're going to check the mail, you're going to come back in, you're going to go, oh yeah, that's right, I'm not 80, nobody checks the mail anymore, and then you're going to masturbate. Yuck. Disgusting. disgusting. You are filth. Hit yourself like one of those Opus Dei monks. Go on! How S&M did that get? So, what you want to do is find out those 3 tasks, and then I want you to record how much time you're devoting to it over the next day. And then I want you to break that record, like Bart licking the stamps. I want you to, because you'll be surprised at it. You'll be surprised at how little time you spend on it. Me, who's very aware of these principles, who's very aware of the science behind it, still waste huge amounts of time in the day, which scares me that the vast majority of the population is wasting even more time than that. But the greatest thing is that because I keep ridding myself of distractions, I keep spending more time on it because it becomes an infinite game. You get better at focusing on those tasks the more you focus on those tasks because you think, oh, when I do this action, it leads to me playing fucking PlayStation. So maybe I should just hammer the PlayStation. How manic did that look? Just hammer it! I think that honestly, if you did that, it would be a really great key because then you could buy mini PlayStations. How fun would that be? Playing Tomb Raider on 1,000 screens. That sounds like insanity. That would be the 7th, not the 7th, probably the 3rd layer of hell, just playing Tomb Raider all at once. And if you do, every time you die, I'm gonna kill you. Some demon sitting there with a gun to your head while you're playing 1,000 Lara Crofts going. So, do that. Figure out what those 3 tasks are. Record. Actually, start today, because as soon as you get off here, if you don't do this, so write down what those 3 tasks are. Figure out what you want, how you're going to get it. Write down the 3 tasks to getting there, which is the answer to how you're going to get it. Solving half your problems instantly. And then write them down, and then see, and then you can use today as well. Start recording today how much time you spent on those tasks. And then tomorrow, I want you to do the same thing, and I want you to keep beating that record throughout the week. Give me a week of that. Commit to it right now. As soon as this stops, get off the net, put on your little happy music if you need to. You know what it is, it's the SimCity music. Whatever, I'm not even going to bother copying it anymore. I'm a busy man. Not really, I think I'm going to walk in the park afterwards and go, flowers, why do they spring in summer? Oh, they spring in spring. Well, that answers that question. That'll be the next 2 hours for me. But I want you to write down what those tasks are, how long you're spending on them. Do that for the rest of the week and see if it improves just you being aware of it. And then what you'll notice is you start discarding things that you know are taking you away from those tasks. Do it.
Let's do it.